Podcast, presentado por 5.11.
PS360, una vez más desde CIPE y con un gran exponente que acaba de dar su ponencia y vamos a hablar un poquillo con él. Y él es Brian C. Hartman.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks a lot. It's a pleasure to have you here in Mexico and CIPE. How was your experience here in CIPE, sharing, teaching?
Absolutely fantastic. So number one, from the organization was excellent. The facilities are fantastic, but most importantly is the students. Great. They welcomed us. They welcomed our friends from the north with open arms. They want to be here. They want to learn. They want to get better. They asked great questions, took great notes, and we even had some fantastic questions and discussions after our modules of instruction were over with people wanting more information.
So the people respond perfectly, even because most of the techniques or the operation is different between.
It can be. Absolutely, yeah. So to that end, we like to say that there are differences that exist in countries, in cultures, on teams, and all that sort of stuff. However, there's also certain things that they cross boundaries, and they're never going to be different. So professionalism is always going to be there. Teamwork. If you and I are on a team, we've got to be on a team together. We've got to solve problems. We have to have good attention to detail. Those are never going to go out of style, no matter where we go.
Thanks a lot. And what are the biggest gaps you see in typical federal or law enforcement training that PFC addresses?
That's a great question. So one of the interesting things that's sort of a difference between law enforcement and military is that a military unit that's maybe going to deploy overseas in particular, they have a target date. So they know that in exactly 6 months, we're going to be getting on a plane or a ship and we're going to be going to this location. So in that window, they're not operational. They're strictly in a training role, and they can pack in as much training as they need to do. With a law enforcement unit, law enforcement they're working every day. Executive protection agents, they're working every single day. And so consequently, they're trying to fit training in wherever they can fit it. So that's a problem. That's a real challenge as well. You also have personalities. You have some personalities that don't like to train. We talked a little bit about that in our last module. Our opinion on that is that we either need to fix those individuals or maybe they need to look for a career elsewhere, that this is a training-driven activity and that it's going to bring everybody's game up. And we owe that to ourselves, to our teammates, and to the client to just be that much better trained.
On rapid onset scenarios, what instant decision-making principles do you drill into your students?
Great question. So there is a psychological concept that's called primed decision making, and it comes from training. And essentially, if we've done training, and it comes from the aviation field, from training pilots for malfunctions and such in the cockpit. And it allows them to be what's called reflexive as opposed to diagnostic, meaning that I get this alert light on the screen, and that alert light means I need to do such and such. And they train the pilots to a degree that they don't have to read that light or interpret that light. They just know that recognition, prime decision making is already there. And so ideally, perfectly, it's never perfect, but we try to get agents as primed as possible and to expect those things to happen. If we expect it to happen, then we're ready for it, and it's not as hair-raising and as chaotic. And so I have a philosophy that I try to impart to agents, which it is, if you are expecting a protective detail to go smoothly, you're wrong. Don't think it's going to go smoothly. Think that it's going to have a problem. Think that there's going to be a delay, there's going to be weather, we're going to get a flat tire, the client might get ill, the client might bring an additional passenger with them, they bring their dog, they bring the nanny, they bring all these extra people, and we have problems along the way. And then if those problems don't happen, it's easy. But if I'm expecting those problems to occur, I'm just that much better to do it. And in a rapid onset scenario like you asked about, I can deliver an outcome that much faster. The second answer to that is that we want to standardize things. So if you and I were on a team together, I have no doubt you would make good decisions, and I'd like to think I'd make good decisions, but most importantly, we want to make the same decision.
Okay.
And so in order for us to make the same decision, we have to have procedures, standard operating procedures that are documented, and we know those, we've been tested on those, we train those regularly, and they get updated and reinforced so that we're all handling a problem in an identical way, as opposed to 10 different ways and different outcomes. It's going to be crazy.
And get the perfect decision in each one.
Exactly. So a great example of that would be, let's say you and I are working at a client's residence and packages arrive. He just gets packages in the mail or from Amazon, and those packages arrive. If you receive packages one way and I receive packages a different way, one of us is going to make a mistake.
Exactly.
And the client's going to get upset. So let's have one way, one procedure for how we receive these, how we log these, how we go online and confirm it, and then how we communicate it to the client and hand the packages off to them, and everybody will be happy.
It's a great point of what you said. Thanks a lot. It has been a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. We look forward to coming back and joining you guys next time.
I hope we could see you in the next CIPE
We would love it.
2026.
Excellent. Muchas gracias.
Gracias a ti.